the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn a lot of information about the Valley's NBA Development League franchise, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And we're going to start things off by meeting the head coach of the Vipers. We're talking with Vipers head coach Chris Finch. Chris, welcome to the program here. This is our opportunity to kind of get to know you on a kind of personal level and let the fans kind of know where you kind of came from as far as basketball is concerned. Your background is in head coaching, goes back a while, but it goes back overseas where you had your playing career. Tell us a little bit about your experience overseas and being a head coach and how you kind of came into the D-League.
Yeah. Well, I was overseas coaching for about 15 years. Before that, I played for a few years professionally in the UK, and then I was fortunate enough to be given an opportunity at the age of 27 to start coaching, right with the same organization that I was playing for. So that was kind of a unique twist. And then was there for about 6 years, and then moved to the continent. I was in Germany and I was in Belgium, and also coaching the Great Britain national team. So that's taken me all over. Pretty much all over Europe with those different roles, different hats. And this past summer I was coaching as a guest coach with the Dallas Mavericks staff in the Vegas Summer League. And at the end of that, Sam Hinkie, vice president of the Rockets, reached out and asked if I'd be interested in what they had going on down here, which was a new hybrid affiliation. So I said sure, and we sat down and talked over the next few weeks, and I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to be the head coach of the Vipers, and so here I am, as they say.
When he's talking about the hybrid affiliation, folks, the new one-on-one arrangement between the Rockets and the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, a first-of-its-kind arrangement, and that's pretty unique, and I think that was one of the more enticing details about this position that kind of made you want to jump on board with the Rockets organization, making it a really true minor league system.
Yeah, absolutely. It was probably the drawing card. That and the reputation that the franchise had here as being a top-level professional franchise and the way that they do things. But I really was enjoying life overseas. Had a good career path over there, and I was looking for opportunities to come back home, but it had to be the right one. And being able to work within the NBA system and with a quality organization like the Rockets, you don't get that opportunity every day. So it was something we really just kind of had to grasp and not look back. And I'm glad we did. I've really enjoyed the move, and being able to work with them has been a wonderful learning experience. Plus, they're also extremely inclusive in everything, so I feel really a part of it all.
Have you had an opportunity to see some of the other teams in the league? And there's all different types of ownership models within the league. You have the teams with multiple affiliates or are completely 100% individually owned by a local owner. And you have the teams like the Austin Toros or the Tulsa 66ers, which are run and owned by their NBA club. And of course, now we have this situation here in Rio Grande Valley. In your 40 games that you've had a chance to kind of see what's going on with all the organizations, do you think that this model works the best out of all of them?
Well, it's difficult to say not having worked within the others, but I know this is a fantastic operating model, and it's good because I think it allows the NBA club to really specifically do what they want to do, which is investigate players, develop talent, and use it as a laboratory for anything else that they want to do on the basketball operations side. They don't have to take the business risk. Well, I say one of the key components of not only the Rockets' input into this, but in terms of its success, is that they're really committed to it. I mean, they throw a lot of resources at us. They provide a lot of information, the same level of information that they give to the big club. So when we can evaluate our players in terms of what they do before or after games and statistics, et cetera, then we're on a par with what they're doing. So they're not taking it lightly. They've got both feet in down here and really making it work, and you can feel that.
Looking at the kind of coaches around the league, there's a lot that are similar to you, younger coaches that are trying to make their impact in the development league. And you and Nick Nurse, who happens to coach the Iowa Energy, you have a relationship with the British national team. He's your assistant coach there. You two are probably two of the more successful American coaches that have had success overseas and have worked their way back here to the States. How has that experience of being able to start so young as a head coach kind of helped you out making this transition back here?
Well, it's invaluable, and particularly starting in one of the smaller leagues in Europe, where as a coach coaching small college basketball here in the United States. You know, you're much more than a coach. You're doing a lot of different things across the organization at any one time in terms of basketball operations and community work, and you're recruiting and coaching and preparing and all that stuff. And you really learn how to prioritize. You really learn what are the most important things, such as when you prepare for a team, you know, you don't need to know all 17 inbounds plays that they run, because, you know, sometimes we can suffer from a little bit of overkill in that. But as a coach, I think you really learn to prioritize, and you find your own way. And a lot of, when you're a young coach and you're learning, a lot of the things that you find it's a validation of what you already believe. You learn new things all the time, but if you have a sense of what you believe and how you believe the game should be played, a lot of things you learn is a validation of that, which is good because it gives you confidence.
Coming into this situation, Chris, here in Rio Grande Valley, you're kind of at a multiple crossroads, both with the league, with the organization here, and with the Valley. The Valley's obviously a growing sports market. The D-League is bigger than it's ever been, and you see a lot of the teams doing very well on the business side now as well too. And it's never been bigger, and NBA teams have never used it more. And a crossroads with the Rockets organization as well, as they try to make kind of a shift going from, you know, the days of having Tracy McGrady there to building their team strictly around Yao and Aaron Brooks, who used to play here. How has that transition been, being a part of really all of that put together here for you, been unique?
When you're talking about developing a career or being involved in an industry, whether it be sports or anything else, one of the best things you could ask for is to be in it as it's moving and shaping for the future. And with the D-League in general, I mean, its profile has never been higher. The number of call-ups is even surprised me. The way that the NBA really does value the D-League is surprising, and this is a product of a 10-year commitment. You know, these things don't happen just overnight. With the Rockets, you know, it's exciting because they're using the D-League to investigate a certain style of play, which they want to try to carry over to the next level. Which is, you know, more up-tempo, spread the floor, shoot a lot of threes, get to the basket, play transition basketball, put a lot of pressure on the defense. It's more fun to watch. It's more fun to play. And I think we're seeing the results as you run the numbers. It's a pretty efficient way to play, which is what they're most intrigued by. So that kind of dovetails with what we're doing down here. They're learning about that style of play and being able to evaluate it objectively rather than just subjectively. So I'm really lucky. I've been lucky at different points in my career to be in a similar situation. I was in the UK when the game was really expanding. I've been in Europe in general over the last 10 years where the game has really taken off. So I don't know. I think it's more luck than judgment on my part to have found these situations, but it really is an exciting place to be.
First time you ever were on the Vipers' home floor was for the Rockets-Celtics preseason game. So you saw the building packed, and you've had a chance to coach in the home arena for a while now and be a part of living here in the Valley. I guess talk about your experience finally living here for the time you've been. I know you got here late in the process. And getting moved here was a kind of a crisis for you, moving from overseas. But you talk about your time in the Valley so far and the fan base.
Well, my wife Laura and I, we've really enjoyed it. We've felt settled from the moment that we settled, really. It's an easy place to adapt to. The people are fantastic. It's low pressure, it's low key, it has everything. It's nice, it's modern, it's growing, which is often different than where we've been in the last 5 years, which is Europe. You know, so Europe is quaint, it's got all the history and culture that you want, but it's anything but modern. It's often anything but growing. It's not so vibrant. Down here, you can feel the energy of a growing community. And it's important. It's fun to be back in America, back in American culture. But down here, it's also quite unique, you know. And I see a lot of similarities to living overseas down here, because it's got kind of two cultures going on at any one time, but they're coexisting and benefiting each other.
Well, Coach Chris Finch has had a lot of success so far this NBA Development League season with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, and we hope for several more years of having Coach Finch at the helm until he's ready for a chance to go up with a big club in Houston.